Hello people, so let's solve today's Leetcode daily question. Today's question is a Trionic Array I. So this is a very simple and basic problem, but let's go jump into the understanding of our problem. The question tells you are given an integer array nums of length n, and we need to find if the array is triionic. So what does triionic mean? So there should be two indexes p and q in such a way that the subarray from 0 to p should be strictly increasing, and then from the indexes p to q should be strictly decreasing, and then the remaining subarray q to n minus 1 is strictly increasing. So this is what makes an array to be triionic. So what does this mean? If in 0 to p from indexes 0 to p, we need to have for every index I, how do we know if the array is increasing or decreasing? We need to compare the adjacent elements. So when I take an index I will be comparing it with the before element I minus 1. We are going to compare it with I minus 1. Now how will it be strictly increasing? It will be increasing only if nums of I is greater than nums of I minus 1. So this is what we need to check for strictly increasing. Similarly, next, for indices p to q, for every index I, what do we need to check? It should be strictly decreasing. If it should be strictly decreasing, so then nums of I should be less than nums of I minus 1. Only then we call it strictly decreasing. So for the remaining part of the array, what is the condition? Very simple, you can guess. For indices q to n minus 1, for every index I, we need to check again the same which we done for the first one, nums of I minus 1. So these are the three cases which we need to check. So let's start. First I am going to just take an element integer n and store the length. As I am going to use it multiple times, I am saving it, and we need one index I which I will be able to iterate, using which I will be iterating in the array. So I am going to initialize it 1, because always I am going to check it with the before element. So if you take I equal to 0, then 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 is not an index because our array starts with a 0. It's a 0 based index array. So we are going to start it with I equal to 1. So what we are going to do? Check for, I'll just bring this one here. So this is the condition which we are going to implement now. So for every index, nums of I should be greater than nums of I minus 1. This is what I need to do. Then I am going to go forward because it is increasing. It is what we want to find the index p. And apart from this, there are chances that it is continuously increasing, so we need to put a fail proof. We are going to put the condition that it should be within the limits of the length of the array. So when will this stop? Either when it has reached the end of the array, or other one when it has got the element which is less than the previous element. So like it has gone for 1, 1, 3, okay, it is increasing, and it has gone to index 2, 5 is greater than 3, so fine, and then it has gone to index 3, 4 is less than 5, 4 is less than 5, so we have the index 3 now, and our index has stopped at 5. This is our pth index. So what should I do? I am at 4 and I want the index of 5. So I will be doing minus 1. So int p equals I minus 1. And here we were given a condition that p should be greater than 0. P should be greater than 0. So if p equal to 0, then we are going to return false, as it is not satisfying our condition. Later, what we are going to do, we are going to implement the second case. As we have checked for the strictly increasing part, now let's check for the p to q to be strictly decreasing. Strictly decreasing. So for this, again we will be doing the same thing, while I less than n to keep it in the index range of the array, and then nums of I should be less than nums of I minus 1 before the element. When we are checking, so the before element should be greater than our current element. So then we are just going to increase it. So now we have got a point, like we have gone till here, and then we got our p to be 2, and we have gone from 4 to 2, and at 6 it failed. So for the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for index 5 it failed. So we take I minus 1 to be q. And q equals I minus 1. So what are the conditions given for q? Q should be in between n minus 1 and p. So if q is equal to p, or q is equal to the last index, so then we need to return false. So if q equals n minus 1 or q equals p, so for either of this case it is not going to be trionic, so we are going to return false. Later, for the remaining array, we need to check if it is strictly increasing. It should be strictly increasing. So for this case, what we are going to do? For this, for the remaining one, let's again run the loop I less than n, and here instead of checking for the element, what we will do here is, let's check for the opposite case. If we get any element which is less than or equal to the previous element, nums of I is less than or equal to nums of I minus 1. So if we get such type of element, so then again the condition to be trionic is failing. So we are going to return false. And we need to put an increment. Don't forget, for while loop you need to increment every time. So later, if all these conditions are passed, so the increasing condition passed, and then from p to q you need to be decreasing, that is also passed, and for the remaining subarray we checked and it is strictly increasing. So if all these conditions are passed, so then it will be a trionic. It will be a trionic. So we are returning true. So let's submit. Wonderful. Our test cases are passing. So let's try submitting it. Nice. So we are able to submit it and it passed. keep watching my videos for other Leetcode questions. I'll be solving the whole month with the daily questions. So please do subscribe, share, and like.